Welcome back to the One Officer Success Partner. You know, guys, we always bring some really, really great guests. And today, I got to tell you, man, I don't know how we tracked them down. Two of the famous guys in this industry, all in one place at one time. We got the mortgage dads, Travis Newton, James Swift with Synergy One. And guys, man, you guys are doing some huge things out there in the industry. Thanks for coming by.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, I had the pleasure of, hearing you guys speak on the Redder Mortgage Show. Well, Travis, I think you were there. James, you were off saving the world.
That's right.
But, at the end of the day, I was like, man, you know what? This is just, you guys do such great content, and, you're bringing some energy to this industry. And I think we need a lot of that right now. And I was like, man, let's get them over here and let's showcase what you guys are doing out there. But I told you guys this is the green room. I always like to do it like, let's get to know you guys a little bit. And I think a lot of people know you from your online presence, but where are you guys from originally?
Yeah, we're from Salem, Oregon area. So James and I both live. I'll let James tell his story a little bit, but we both live here in the Willamette Valley here in Oregon. And I've lived here my whole 48 years in about a 5-mile radius. So I haven't even moved.
Very cool, man. Yeah. How about you, James?
Pretty much growing up here in the Salem, Oregon area as well. There was a small stint in my life, like my 8th grade to sophomore year, where my family moved to Nebraska. So I got to experience small town Nebraska for a little while. Yeah, yep, exactly. And then moved back here to Oregon and been here ever since. So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So you guys are natives. This is where you're from. And, you know the area well. We get to see it because you guys post all the time, man. I mean, like, you guys are posting machines. But how'd you get into the mortgage space? Like, how did you get over here? Were you always loan officers, like both of y'all?
Yeah, I started about 25 years ago. I just recently, kind of figured I wasn't going to be a teacher. So I realized I need to find a job where I can make some real money and support my family. So got into sales, loved it, and then kind of ended up in the mortgage business. And this is my 25th year, and I wouldn't change anything about it. It's incredible. So,
what about you, James?
Yeah, so I did a 20-year stint in the military. So got in, was going to do my 6 to get my college benefits and get out, and then there I was 20 years later, still serving. So while I was in the service, Travis and I had met when our kids were young. We started coaching our kids together in sports when they were basically kindergarten. Yeah. And then from there on, Travis became my loan officer.
Okay.
So then when I was getting ready to get out of the military, Travis asked me what I wanted to do next. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. And I told him I wanted something low stress. And here I am. He didn't tell me about the stress part.
So he lied to you. He got you over here in the space.
Yeah.
But hey, I want to say, man, shout out. Thanks for your service, brother. We appreciate you putting it on the line, for our country. So thank you for that. And Travis, I know you said you didn't want to do the education thing, but man, here you are educating people every single day, brother. So, you're doing it and you're serving it well.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so it's just a little bit different for different type of education, right? It pays a little bit better.
It does.
So that's what's nice. I get a little bit more freedom. Don't have summers off. I was looking forward to that all that time, but yeah. So we're here still doing educating people, and now we're just doing it on a mass scale.
Yeah. Well, I know you say you don't have summers off, but what I know about this industry, and I would assume you would agree as well, is we could take time off when we want to. We're just not fully off, right? Like, we still have to be in action, unless we've got a great team behind us. And I imagine you guys do, right? But we do get some flexibility with schedule. Would you agree?
Oh yeah. I mean, the daily flexibility we get. Yeah. James.
Yeah. I was just going to say, it's the blessing and the curse of the industry, right? Like, you can work from anywhere, but you have to work from anywhere, right? So, yeah.
That's it, man. That's it. Very cool. So, Travis, you used to be a coach too, right? Or are you still coaching?
Well, I coached high school sports for about 25 years. That's what you're referring to. Yeah. Did that for a real long time. And then I've coached loan officers for 15 years as well.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
But those kind of go hand in hand. I mean, and James also coached high school sports, and we did it together for a long time, and youth sports forever. So, those things kind of go hand in hand. You're still, you're giving your, heart and soul to something, right?
Yeah. You got to pour your passion into it, man. I talk about that all the time, right? You got to do stuff that you absolutely love, because if you're not, man, we're wasting time, right? So, well, I know you guys do something pretty cool, and, I see you pop up all over my feed, And at some point in time, y'all took a stance and said, we're going all in on this social media thing. Talk about that, man.
Well, Travis, can I take the lead in on that and
Yeah,
I'll
you
let you
got it.
take it over? Okay. So when I first got into this industry, we went to a mortgage mastermind in Vegas, right? And every time you go to those big events, like all the speakers have something really great to share
Yeah.
and really great to
Yep.
say. So we went with the mindset like, okay, we want to find the one thing that we love and take it home and do it well, right?
Love that.
And then a guy by the name of Neil Dingra, which I'm sure a lot of people know, he got on stage on day one and he spoke about video. And we knew we needed to be in the video space. And probably just like a lot of other people, we just didn't know. We knew we needed to do it, but we didn't know how to get started.
Yeah.
And the way he presented it, he just removed all the barriers of entry. And we left right when he was done speaking. We didn't even go back and listen to any of the other speakers. We're like, we know this is what we're going to do. We went to our hotel room and we sat in the lobby and we basically put our plan together and we started ordering our microphones and our lighting and we signed up for Neil's plan. And our Amazon packages for our equipment was arriving at home before we even got home from Vegas. So that was kind of like our entry, and it just became a non-negotiable for us to do it, right? So take it from there, Travis.
Well, real quick, man, shout out to Neil at Ford, right? I know that's who you're talking about. And there's another event coming up right around the corner. So I'll be there, guys. If you're not going to be there, I'll definitely be there. So look forward to meeting you guys face to face. But I want to touch on some of the things you talked about, James. But Travis, I know we want you to take the lead real quick.
Yeah. To James's point, we just we knew that we needed to change the way we did business. I was a pretty high producer, top 1% for the last 10 years or so, 15 years. And so, but I was working with agents that I didn't enjoy working with. They were paying my bills and I still didn't enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
So I knew there had to be a better way. So we really went into social media thinking, when James and I joined together, like, hey, let's go in, let's do this, and let's go consumer direct and see what we can do, right?
Yep.
So that way we can get the leads and refer them to the agents we want to work with, right? But quickly we found out that it's really hard to get the consumer direct business. It really is, because there's companies that really got that cornered. Now we can kill it with social media, and then we realized, hey, we can still work with agents. We just work with the ones we want to work with, right? We can teach them how to do what we're doing, right? And so over 2024. I think we did 40 some million, 43. I don't know what we did, 40 some million. And about 18 million of that was from relationships that we built off of Instagram and social media, and mainly Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And then this year we're on pace for probably 25, 26 million in relationships built from that. And that means consumer relationships and, and direct from real estate partners, right? So these are new relationships we built directly from there, which is huge.
Yeah, no. Well, and James, going back to what you said when we were at the conference, he took down all the barriers that gave us the confidence to step out and do. So if somebody's listening right now and their barriers are up, right, which a lot of people's are, right? Like, what were those barriers that were taken down?
Sure. Well, some of them are just, what we think about ourselves, right? And so, we are our own worst critics. So, we people who have dabbled in video, including us up to that point, we were hypercritical of what we sounded like or what we looked like, or, are we too old to get into this game, or did we start too late, right?
Yeah.
So some of those barriers, right? And I'll tell you a quick story about that, and then I'll kind of loop back to it. So once we got back and we got all of our equipment set up and we were going to record our first video. So I sat down in the chair to be the one recording the video. Travis was behind the camera, just kind of watching, and we record the video, and then we go to watch it back to just kind of see, how did it look? Did we have our mic set up right? Was the lighting good? And I said, hey, Travis, we need to move the light over to the other side, right? So, instead of shining on this side of my face, let's move it over here. I want it to shine on this side of my face. And he was like, well, why? And I said, well, my right ear sticks out a little bit further than my left ear. And the way we have the light set up, it's like shining right on my ear. And he looks at me and he goes, dude, I've known you for 15 years and I never noticed that your right ear sticks out further than your left ear, right? I never noticed. So,
right.
We critique ourselves to death, right? So he helped just, he kind of chimed in on like, just, you look like what you look like, you sound like what you sound like, go out there and get the deals, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Well, but then above and beyond that, like, he taught us about written hooks and how to grab people's attention and how to record things in a simple fashion, kind of line by line, that you didn't have to like do a perfect one cut, and how to, kind of bring things together. And then of course his program is incredible because it just provides you with so much content that you can get started with, right? So that's how he removed all the barriers for us, right?
That's
And their
huge, man.
program also said, hey, if you don't know what mic to get or what what lighting to get, like they just broke it all down for you. It was awesome.
So, well, and the other point, real quick, sorry to cut you off,
you're
Kevin,
good, Travis. Go, man. Go.
Every time we've seen Neil speak, or anybody like Neil, they always say, only, there's 300 people in this room, only 10 of you are going to even listen to what I say. And only 3 of you are going to take it to heart and actually do something about it, right? And so, and we definitely wanted to be one of those folks. So what we did is we immediately scheduled a one-on-one with Neil. This is when he lived in Reno. We flew to Reno, spent a whole bunch of money, more money I've ever spent on one-on-one coaching, and then ended up talking to him kind of one-on-one for a weekend. There's a few other people there as well. But that's what really changed our mindset about going all in on video. And again, if we can do it, we're 2 upper 40-year-old dudes who didn't really care about social media before, besides doom scrolling, right? But now we go all in on it. So if we can do it, anybody can do it.
Well, I was going to piggyback off of that when James said it, right? So first off, you guys say if you could do it, anybody can do it. Well, you two are actually pretty handsome guys, right? Here I am, right, with a face for radio, and I'm out here doing this every single week. And last time I looked, I'm actually older than you. So, I couldn't agree with you more, right? At the end of the day, we look like we look like, and we sound like we sound like, and we don't walk out into public with a paper bag on our head, right? Like we show up, this is us. And quite frankly, I think people actually appreciate the fact that we're real, opposed to trying to hide behind the fake persona, right? That's what a lot of people do, especially, have you ever met the glamour shot real estate agent? Right. Oh, yeah. And then you show up at the open house and you're like, I don't even recognize this. Who is this? Right.
Well, it was funny. Yesterday, I sent James an email. He goes, hey, did you just change your picture? I said, yeah. And so I just changed it midday yesterday. I realized that my last picture was 9 years old. So now guys can get away with this for a little bit longer, right? Because nothing changes dramatically on it in us, but hair or whatnot. I mean, my hair's getting a little bit more gray, but that's it. And so, but I changed my picture yesterday, and then the one I changed it to was from like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but it's, we don't have too many pictures that we love, so we have to be picky and choosy what we have.
Well, it's funny you say that, because right before we jumped on, I changed my profile picture for the link that goes out to the podcast, right? Yeah. I was like, man, I'm on a podcast all the time. Let's do a mic and a headset, right? Like, it just makes more sense. That's what people see me as. So let's be myself. One thing that I wanted to touch on too, man, dude, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, sorry. Going back to the equipment, right? I have my views on this as to what you really need, right? And I also have what I really spent versus what I needed to spend. But I'd love to get you guys' take on this, right? Like, what do you got to have to get started with this?
An iPhone. Okay. All right, Android users. All right, you can use your phone too, but that's it. You have a recording studio in your pocket, right? That's when we go talk to people about. Get by a window with some good natural light. If you're within arm's length of your phone, especially on the iPhone 16 or newer, they've got that new thing where you can adjust the sound. Mm-hmm. And man, it sounds like you're in a recording studio. That's all you need. You already have a recording studio in your pocket. You just got to get going. That's it. And then outside of that, we have a couple toys that we like. We bought the Osmo Pocket 360 that we love for like walking around, doing home tours with agents and that kind of stuff. And just some good steady shots. And then we do have some like Rode wireless go-to mics with some lavaliers if we decide that we want to be a little further away from our camera to mic up. We bought a couple of Shure MV7 podcast mics that if we want to sit and do a podcast style recording. But I mean, honestly, not very much money to get some really good stuff, right?
Yeah.
I was going to
Yep.
agree with all that. The iPhone's the way to go. And I was a Samsung user forever, but my wife was like, I'm tired of your stupid Samsung. So I got this for work, and now it's replaced my iPhone or my Samsung. And I vowed I would never do it. Right. I had to call some of my old friends. I'm like, nah, I took the plunge, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm an iPhone guy now, but you're right. The iPhone does it. As far as clip-on mics, you can do the Shure stuff. There's even some cheaper ones on Amazon you can pick up, or even just like the Magic Pop mics for $40. It's a good solution if you're going to interview somebody and you're outside, right? You can pick those things up for like $50 online. They're not as good as the ones you guys talked about, right? Like they're not going to get the same clarity, but I've used both. And quite frankly, never ever had somebody pop on and be like, hey, your mic sucked, man. Like it just doesn't happen. Now, these Shure mics you talk about for the studio, yeah, they're going to give you more punch and sound to your voice. Again, you don't have to have it. You know what I started with on my podcast was a what you call it, a little webcam and a $60 Yeti mic, right?
Yeah.
And I probably didn't even need that. I probably could have used the one from my computer. And I was like you guys, right? I was at an event and the speaker was talking about, getting in front of people and being on social. And I looked at my business partner at the time and I was like, dude, let's start a podcast when we get home. And that Friday we shot our first podcast, and I've been shooting podcasts ever since. That was about 2.5 years ago. And now we're a couple hundred episodes in, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Time flies. It doesn't take much. I mean, I have a $25, whatever this is, just a little Amazon mic that I use for Zooms. And I did spend a little bit of money on my Nexigo webcam that's 4K, but that's it. I mean, you could do podcast stuff for a couple $100, and you could do anything else with social media for the cost you've already spent on your phone. You don't need anything else.
Well, let's talk content, because you guys have plenty of it, right? Like how do I come in? So okay, I get past the fact that I'm afraid that I don't look right for the job, right? And now I'm finally going to shoot some video, and I realize all I need is my iPhone.
Yeah.
What do I shoot? What do I put out there?
Yeah, we try to follow the 80-20 rule where we're going to do 80% business, 20% life. But everything we post on our James and Travis page, you can look us up at the Mortgage Dads, and we can link to that. But everything we post, we collaborate with James and we collaborate with me, right? So that way it's 3 of us on all of these posts that we have going out, right? But everything is content. Like everything you do throughout your day is content. As a loan officer, you can tell stories, you can go tour homes, you can talk about how you got this borrower approved. I mean, for example, we have a borrower approved right now. We just got done. It's a VA loan, and we're going to take about $30,000 from the seller to pay off the consumer's debts. Obviously, those loan officers like us all know that can be done, but most people don't know that the seller can pay off the debts for the consumer, right?
Yeah.
And so we got the approval on that one, and I'm going to make a big story about that in the next day or so about how we were able to do that, right? So anything's content. Earlier this year, we made the goal of doing. I made the goal. James just went along with it, but we did 957 videos. Looks like in about a 2-year period. And then I told James, I said we're gonna do 1,000 videos this year. And we're on pace for about 1,070 right now, maybe 1,080, and we're going to do it. So we're doing about 3 a day. And again, it's not all mortgage content, but not everybody comes to our page to see mortgage content. They want to see us, just mess around, have fun, tell some jokes, and go from there.
Wait a minute, you guys are real people that like enjoy life?
Yeah.
And people want to watch that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we know that.
If I could pull that string just a little bit further. Right.
Please.
You don't have to recreate the wheel. Like our audience is different than your audience. Your audience different than our audience. Like whoever else is watching this podcast, their audience is different than our audience. So, when you're watching social media and you see something, funny or educational or whatever, just take that idea and make it your own. Nobody's posting brand new, mind-blowing thought of stuff on social media, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at a lot of the influencers and you compare them to other influencers, they're all doing the same stuff, just with their own spin on it. So, we spend a decent amount of time on social media just looking for ideas. And then we say, hey, I liked this video. How do we take this video and make it our own? Right.
Yeah,
and then record a version of it.
Yeah, what we really do is we take it and ask, how can we make this real estate mortgage related in some form or fashion, right?
Yeah.
And almost every video that you see out there, you can turn into some sort of real estate and mortgage, category where you can post that. So that's what we spend our time doing.
Yeah, catastrophic event, your day feeling like this, welcome to the mortgage business, right? I mean, it's that simple, right? But the one that I think really speaks to a lot of people too is when you're telling the stories about the real-time events that you have going on right now, right? Here I am helping a customer. This is something that a lot of people don't know you can do. Let me show you how we can do that. And then what happens is you put that out there and somebody goes, oh, James and Travis know how to help people, right? And then the second thing is, here you are goofing off doing some stupid stuff that's really fun, right? And they're like, oh, James and Travis are real people, right? And I can relate to them. And that's really what you're doing, right? You're helping people build a relationship through social.
Yeah, the question we get a lot though is our wives always ask us, and our kids and people we know, like, do you guys even work? I say, yeah, we work like 60 hours a week. So we work a ton. So yeah, so I think what's really important is how we get a lot of our business is we teach real estate agents how to do social, right? And so that's what we spend a lot of our time is teaching classes and teaching them individually how they can be the local mayor of their town, right? How they can be hyper local. And in this world where we have the Rockets and all these bigger companies kind of buying these smaller companies, and now they're going to have you from cradle to grave. That's what Rocket's really doing. That's what Zillow's trying to do, right? I mean, they're going to have you from the second you go on the internet looking for a house to win, you're servicing, right? So there's only one way to combat that, and is a very good way, but you have to be hyper local in your own market. You are the brand in your own market. So that's what we really focus on, is being the brand that people recognize in the mortgage world in our market. Like, there's enough business here in Salem, Oregon, for us to do $300 million a year if we wanted to, and still leave tons for everybody else, right? And so that's what we're focusing on. That I mean, we'll do loans in Washington, other places where we have to be licensed. That we'll do that, fine. But we really want to focus on the Willamette Valley, Salem, Oregon, certain neighborhoods. Even down to a certain coffee shop. We're going to help that coffee shop blow up, and do giveaways and collaborations with them. So that's what we focus on. And then we help the real estate agent learn how to do that as well, right? And then that's where the real value is that we add to them. And then in turn, hopefully they trust us enough to help their clients with their loans.
Well, I'm going to touch on two things real quick, and I know I can't keep you here much longer, but I want to hit on a couple of notes. Number one, what you said is we're putting out so much content that people think that we don't work, but that's what that means is that you guys are really focused on your craft. And, I'm sure you pre-plan a lot of this content so that you can make it look that way. But we know behind the scenes, because I've seen your track record, right? You guys are working really hard, right? So you make it look effortless. But guys, that's just, making sure that you're always finding time to work on the content so that you can plan that stuff out, right? And then stay focused on the money-making activity in the background, right? Helping your clients out. But the other thing you said was we're helping show our agents how to do this themselves. And that is so valuable because when I first started doing a lot of the cool stuff we're doing with AI and video, and my thought was, hey, we're going to reach out to these agents, tell them we got this, and they got to work with us to get it, right? Like that was literally my original plan. And it wasn't until I really went out and started meeting with these agents, I'm like, no, what a terrible plan that is, right? Give it to them for free, right? Yep. Show them how they can do it and show them how they can create their own successes, and they're going to love you for it. And that's what you guys are doing. You're out there teaching them, empowering them how to create this content, which is super easy to do if you really just let go of all the fear, right? And dive right in. And you're teaching them how to build their brand. And I love that, man. I love it. There was one other thing I wanted to touch on, and you said it, but we talked about this on the Redder Show, and I want to bring this up one more time, which is using the small businesses and the giveaways, right, to help build the local market brand. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, I can do that. So the way we do that is we just go, we scroll down through Instagram, we find other businesses, small mom and pop shops, coffee shops, food trucks, restaurants, hair salons, you name it, right? Just locally owned places, and they have a decent following on social, Instagram in particular, and we'll go to them and say, hey, we will buy a $50 gift card, $100 gift card from you Then we're going to come and record a video of your facility or something. There's no words to it. We're just going to record something cool. And then we're going to do a collaboration with you on Instagram. And then the way to enter that giveaway is they have to like the James and Travis page, like Storm Coffee or whatever we decide to partner with. And then they have to tag 3 friends and then share it to their stories. And that just creates this snowball effect where we're going to get 100 to 200 new local followers, like the coffee shops followers will start following us and vice versa. And then we're going to get a bunch of people from the community that follow both of us, right? And so that's one huge way to build local followers. And then we just do the giveaway, and the winner gets the $100 gift card or $50 gift card. And of course, we make a video talking about it. Then we make a video announcing who the winner is and tag them in it. And then, those all get, comments and shares and all that. But it's just one good way that we can support local businesses, because that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. And then again, we teach agents how to do that exact same thing.
I think that's huge, man, because you're building your local presence. You're turning people onto businesses that if they don't know about, they should. And what's the number one thing that people look at when they're trying to move to a new community, right? Like, where am I going to go have coffee? Where am I going to go eat dinner, right? Like, what does that look like? And now all of a sudden they're tuning into Travis and James, the mortgage dads, and going, man, these guys tell us all the cool spots, right, around this area. And you become the news, right? You become the frequently asked questions right there on your page.
Yeah, it's been pretty great. We've been out and about in different. I mean, heck, we've been in Vegas. We've been in different parts where people come up to us and they know who we are because they've seen us on social media so much. So, and that's the other question I want to make sure we talk about, is the other point I should say, is that the question is, are you posting too much? And the answer is no, because the algorithm's not going to show. I mean, even to my wife, the algorithm is not going to show every one of my videos today. If I do 4 videos today, my wife's not going to see them all unless she has me tagged as a favorite, right? Yeah. So you're never posting too much, because people always think, well, am I going to scare away the audience that's been there for a long time now that I'm posting a lot? The answer is no. Algorithm's not going to show it to them unless they come to your page or they have you as a favorite. So if you can post 3 to 4 videos a day, do it. Post as much as you can in the stories. Talk about your family, talk about your, the sports teams you love, whatever it is, talk about it.
I love that you say that, man, because it happens all the time, right? Where like 4 days after a post, you get a comment or some likes and you're like, oh, wow, that's taken off again, right? And you just don't think about it, but it's the algorithm's picking up about 10% of what you do and putting it in front of people. I think it may be lower than that, somewhere but 8 to 10%. Yeah. But
yeah, for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, what have we not tackled today that we should have?
I have something, but let's see if James has anything for us real quick.
I have nothing mind-blowing that's coming to mind. So.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'd like to leave with this, though. We were talking to a group of realtors the other day, and the one thing I want all loan officers to understand, they probably already have the same mindset as me, but you have to stop talking about rates coming down, right? I mean, here we are 2 years later, folks, and we're in the same boat we were 2 years ago, right? Yeah. We've been talking about for two and a half years. It's still as high as they were, right? We've had some ebbs and flows, but stop promising that to your agents. Stop talking about that to your buyers. You just need to continue to do the actions that matter. We call them ATMs, right? The actions that matter. Continue to do those things. Make your phone calls. Do your pop buys. For us, it's doing content and doing the local giveaways and teaching and having classes with real estate agents. We do have to do those actions that matter to really help bring in our income to support our family. But if you just keep worrying about when are rates going to drop or having those conversations, you're just going to be stuck in this negativity, talking about that all the time. Go out and do the positive things that will bring you actionable results.
I love that, man. Yeah. What a great message, right? Rates are going to do what they're going to do. We have no control over it.
Yep.
The only thing you have control over is your activity. And you need to create some non-negotiables like James and Travis did here with the social media platform. Figure out what yours are. If it's not social media, figure out what it is and go out there and do that activity to bring in results, and you're going to create successes for yourself. Yeah, I love it, man. Stop hiding behind the negativity.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's not social media for you, that's great. I know someone who's doing 100 pop buys at open houses over the next 100 days. fantastic. So whatever that is for you, just go do it. Whatever's brought you your last 4 or 5 transactions, do more of that. For us, it's social media. For you, it may not be. But whatever that is, go do more of it.
Yeah. Make yourself relevant, get people to notice you. That's it. Well, Travis, James, again, you're in the Oregon market. And is that the only state you guys serve? You go anywhere else?
Oregon, Washington.
And Synergy One.
Yep.
And when the folks out there want to find you guys, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can just go to, you're going to put some links for us, I'm sure.
We'll get it, man. We'll get it.
But yeah, check us out on Instagram. That's where we're pretty much at most of the time. We do some TikTok stuff and some Facebook, but mainly we have everything on Instagram. That's where we spend most of our time at. So you can just search for James and Travis or the Mortgage Dads, and we'll pop up either way. Yeah, we do some fun stuff, and we'd love to engage with you guys there.
Yeah, get over there, and if you're not already following, follow. You're going to see some fun stuff and get some really great detail on how to build a mortgage, right? Like how to get qualified, right? And if you just want to skip that step and learn how to get qualified, we'll have some information just ran across the bottom of the screen. But go check out the description if you're driving. Don't wreck your car. We got you, right? And give these guys a reach out. They're going to be able to help you out. I mean, these guys have years and decades of experience in the industry, and they're the guys. They are the Mortgage Dads, right? So go check them out. And like I said, follow, like, comment, forward to all your friends. And man, we appreciate you guys stopping back in, and we hope you love the content. We're going to keep bringing on great guests like James and Travis, so keep coming back around. But I think, guys, unless you got anything else to say.
We appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
You bet. Have a good day.
Guys.
See ya.